Words to know?
Words to know. Scale. Algebraic expression. Variable. Mixed nuts. Container.
All right, so variable here, just like we said earlier before we started, a variable is a letter that stands for a number in an expression. Boys, it's really not that funny. It stands for a number in an expression, and you have to solve to figure out what number that variable represents. So our variable here is w. W minus 4 is an algebraic expression, so we would solve to figure out what w was. Now, we don't have enough information here to figure out what number w stands for. We don't have enough information, but you'll learn how to soon.
How can you translate words into expressions? Think about this question during the lesson. Which weight is known? The weight of the jar or the weight of the mixed nuts?
Which weight is known, Corey?
The jar.
The jar, because that's on the scale. It says 4 ounces.
The weight of the jar is known. Which is the unknown weight?
The mixed nuts.
The weight of the mixed nuts is unknown.
Sorry, I'm clicking it there.
What expression shows the weight of the mixed nuts after the weight of the jar is subtracted?
Oh, sorry.
A variable is a letter or symbol that represents an unknown amount that can vary or change.
Okay, so think about this. If you knew, just like we know the weight of the jar, and we want to figure out how much the weight of the mixed nuts are, so we have to set up an expression to figure that out.
An algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase involving variables, numbers, and operations. Look at the chart showing operations, word phrases, and corresponding algebraic expressions.
Okay, so let's take a look at this chart a second. An addition problem, a subtraction expression, multiplication expression, division expression. A number plus 4, where W stands for some number we don't know, plus 4. Does this letter always have to be W? No. Maybe you want to call it N for number. N plus 4. That's fine too. Or a number added to 4. 4 plus N, or plus W, plus a number. Okay? Subtraction means to take away a number minus 4, that's what this is showing, and minus 4, or a number less 4. Okay, if you heard a number less 4 or a number minus 4, and that's what you're going to have to do in today's assignment. It's going to give you a number minus 4, and you have to write that expression, n minus 4. Or if it tells you a number added to 4, then you would write n plus 4 or 4 plus n. That's what today's assignment is all about. 4 times a number. So you would put here 4 times W or 4W. You don't have to have a multiplication sign in between there. Okay? So this here, 4 times W, is the exact same thing as 4W. And then finally, division, a number, which is W, divided by 4, or why do they have this as a fraction? Does that make sense to you? It should. Why? Claire?
Because like a fraction is a fraction like divided.
Right. A fraction is an actual, it means divide. The fraction line we learned means divide. So this means W divided by 4.
For addition, a number plus 4, or a number added to 4, is described by the algebraic expression W plus 4. For subtraction, a number minus 4, or a number less 4, is described by the algebraic expression W minus 4. For multiplication, 4 times a number is described by the algebraic expression 4 times w, or 4w. For division, a number divided by 4 is described by the algebraic expression w divided by 4, or w over 4.
Did it sound like the voice just changed? Yeah, weird.
Which is an algebraic expression. 3 plus 4, or d minus 3. Explain how you know.
Only one of those is an algebraic expression. Which one, Aaliyah? And how do you know? You can't see the board? Why? Oh, okay. I thought you meant something was in your way. Emily, which one is an algebraic expression? 3 plus 4 or d minus 3? How do you know? Well, they both have numbers. 3 plus... You're right, yes. She said d minus 3 is the algebraic expression because it's the one with the letter. Okay? An algebraic expression has to have a variable in it, has to have a letter in it. Notice, do any of these have an equal sign? No. Today in this lesson, you're not going to learn how to solve, meaning there's going to be no equal signs, meaning you're not going to actually find an answer. Okay? So you're not actually going to find what D equals or what W equals. You can't figure it out because we don't have enough information. If we just have W plus 4, we can't figure out what W is. Now, if tomorrow we see W plus 4 equals 5, now we can figure out what W means. It must stand for 1. Or if we see W divided by 4 equals 8, then we must know that W equals 32, because 32 divided by 4 equals 8, okay? But today, you're not going to have to solve it. What your job is going to be, like I said earlier, is it's going to say, write the expression for a number times 17. And you're going to have to put n times 17, or 17n, or w, or s, whatever you choose.
Do we have like a key up above in the corner that says what n equals or something?
You don't need to know what n equals, no. Now it might tell you, use for the variable s, then you're going to have to use s for your letter. Or for the variable t, then you'll have to use t for your letter. If it doesn't tell you, you can make it whatever you want. Usually your variable is lowercase, but I'm not going to get real particular about that. But
D minus 3 is an algebraic expression. 3 plus 4 does not contain a variable. D minus 3 contains a variable, a number, and an operation. So it fits the definition of an algebraic expression.
Okay, algebraic expression, a variable, meaning a letter, a number, and an operation. What do they mean, operation? Hope? Right, you need to have one of those in between there. You need to have adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. That's your operations.
Using the table, let's look at the problem of determining the weight of the jar and the mixed nuts. Since the weight of the mixed nuts varies, let W represent the total weight of the jar and the mixed nuts. Since the jar weighs 4 ounces, how will you determine just the weight of the mixed nuts in the jar?
Okay, let's think about that. We need to come up with our expression. They said W is the weight of the mixed nuts and the jar, the whole thing. Okay, so like the mixed nuts in the jar. That's what W is. And we know that the jar is 4 ounces. what would our expression be if we wanted to find how much just the nuts weigh? W is how much it weighs all together, the nuts in the jar put together. That's W. And we know that the weight of the jar is 4 ounces. So how do we figure out just the weight of the mixed nuts? What's our expression going to be?
4 with W times 4.
Not W times 4. That's okay. Not W times 4. Dylan?
W divided by 4.
Not divided by. We're not making any equal groups. That's division. Ethan?
4 plus W.
Not 4 plus W. Cayenne?
W minus 4.
W minus 4. W, remember, is the weight of everything. If you take the weight of everything, both of them together, minus the weight of the jar, 4 ounces, you're going to get how much just the nuts are.
You will subtract 4 ounces from the total weight of the jar and mixed nuts to determine just the weight of the mixed nuts. So, W minus 4 ounces is the weight of the mixed nuts after the weight of the jar is subtracted.
Okay, now we don't have enough information. We're not able to actually find out how many ounces the mixed nuts are. That's okay. They want to know would you solve that?
Now you know how to translate words into expressions with variables.
All right, so we're going to go to some guided practice. Tyler, would you get the lights, please? Thank you. Okay, so Swabat, students will be able to translate, which means to change, okay, to translate words to algebraic expressions. All right, so we already know what a variable is. A variable is a letter that stands for a number, okay? And we know that an algebraic expression has to have 3 things. What 3 things does an algebraic expression have to have? One thing, Claire.
Number or a variable.
Sorry. Oh no. Okay, algebraic expression 1 has to have a variable. What's the second thing an algebraic expression has to have, Ethan?
Operation.
Operation. And we said that means either add, subtract, divide, or multiply. And one more thing it has to have, Gabe? Not an expression. Butch?
A letter?
The variable, that means a letter. Okay? I'll put that in here, variable, letter. Letter stands for Grant? Number, has to have a number. So, I am doing number 1 in your guided practice. So, why don't you put some notes together? This would be good to refer back to when you're doing your assignment. Expression has to have these 3 things. Algebraic expression. Algebraic expression has to have a variable, which is a letter that stands for a number, has to have an operation, plus, minus, divide, times, and must have a number. So if you do your work tonight and you don't have all 3 of those things, you do not have an algebraic expression. You're missing something. You need to go back and redo it. Okay? So, for number 1 here, we need to come up with an algebraic expression for twice the number of people.
How do we?
First of all, twice the number of people. Twice means double or 2, right? And our variable, what we're solving for, what we need filled out is for people. So you know what I'm going to, what letter I'm going to use? P. P for people. So, twice the number of people. I would have 2p, and that means what? Austin, what does 2